Welcome back, American coin hunter. The 1976 United States 1-cent coin, commonly known as the penny, is a piece that carries far more than just its face value. And for collectors and coin enthusiasts, it represents an intersection of history, design, craftsmanship, and, in some rare instances, extraordinary financial potential. When examining the 1976 penny, it is essential first to consider its physical characteristics, starting with its composition and weight. The 1976 cent was struck primarily in copper-plated zinc, marking a transition from the earlier 95% copper pennies that were more prevalent in prior decades. The specific weight of this coin is approximately 3.11 grams, slightly lighter than the older all-copper pennies due to its primarily zinc core. The diameter of the coin measures 19.05 millimeters, a standard size for the 1-cent denomination, while its thickness remains consistent with prior issues at 1.52 millimeters. Its edge is smooth, and it carries the familiar reeded texture absent from the edge but highlighted in the fine detailing of the obverse and reverse designs that on the obverse. The coin features the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States, a design by Victor David Brenner that first appeared in 1909 to commemorate Lincoln's centennial birth anniversary. Lincoln's profile on the obverse is rendered with remarkable precision. The contours of his face, the furrowed brow, and the meticulous rendering of his hair are all intended to capture not just his likeness, but also the gravitas and dignity of one of America's most revered historical figures. The inscriptions on the obverse include, "In God We Trust," along the upper rim, symbolizing the spiritual and moral foundations that underpin American culture, while "Liberty" appears to the left of Lincoln, emphasizing the enduring principle upon which the nation was founded. The date, 1976, is boldly displayed to the right of Lincoln, and in the case of coins struck at different mints, the mint mark, either D for Denver or S for San Francisco, appears just below the date, providing crucial information for numismatists in terms of origin and rarity. The reverse design of the 1976 cent is particularly notable, as it commemorates the bicentennial of the United States with a unique dual date, 1776 to 1976, marking 200 years since the signing of the Declaration of Independence. The reverse features a striking design by Seth G. Huntington, which replaced the usual wheat stalk seen on earlier pennies. The design showcases a symbolic depiction of the Union shield, representing the strength and unity of the American states. A large, prominent Liberty Bell is centered within the shield, an iconic emblem of American independence and freedom, accompanied by a small eagle to the right, reinforcing the nation's ideals of liberty and vigilance. The inscriptions include "United States of America" along the top rim and 1 cent along the lower edge, anchoring the design in both national identity and monetary denomination. The reverse design alone makes the 1976 cent a sought-after coin among collectors, as it was only produced for that bicentennial year, making it a temporary departure from the standard Lincoln cent motif, a one-time celebration of American history that has since become emblematic of mid-20th century coinage in terms of minting. The 1976 cent was produced at 3 locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The Philadelphia Mint produced coins without a mint mark, whereas the Denver Mint used the D, and the San Francisco Mint primarily struck proof coins with the S mint mark. The mintage numbers were extraordinarily high, with hundreds of millions produced to meet circulation demands and commemorate the bicentennial. But despite this large mintage, certain varieties and error coins from 1976 can fetch exceptional premiums. Numismatic enthusiasts are particularly interested in coins that feature die errors, off-center strikes, double dies, or planchet imperfections. These anomalies create scarcity in the market and elevate the value of what might otherwise be considered a common coin. For example, a 1976 penny with a pronounced double die on the date or lettering can sell for thousands of dollars in certified condition, while a standard circulated coin typically remains close to its face value. The market for these coins is driven by both historical significance and collector demand, making each specimen a potential treasure trove depending on condition, rarity, and provenance. The historical context of the 1976 penny is equally significant. The coin emerged during a period of considerable social and economic change in the United States. The nation was celebrating its 200th anniversary, a time when Americans reflected on the journey from 13 colonies to a global superpower. The bicentennial celebrations permeated all aspects of culture, from coinage to stamps, to public events and commemorative memorabilia. In this context, the 1976 cent was not merely a medium of exchange, but a tangible symbol of national pride, a keepsake that carried the story of American independence into everyday life. Collectors today value this historical dimension, as coins like the 1976 penny serve as both historical artifacts and numismatic investments, bridging the gap between past and present. One of the most fascinating aspects of the 1976 cent is its potential market value when extreme rarity or condition is involved. While most circulated coins may be worth just a few cents, certain high-grade uncirculated examples, especially those certified by reputable grading services such as PCGS or NGC, can command prices in the hundreds or even thousands of dollars. The theoretical scenario of a 1976 cent reaching $242 million is a reflection not of the ordinary market, but of an extraordinary hypothetical scenario, often tied to unique historical provenance, significant errors, or an exceptional collector's auction where multiple factors converge: rarity, historical importance, demand, and bidding competition. Such valuations, while not typical, illustrate the immense fascination and speculative allure of numismatics. Collectors often pursue coins not merely for their metallic content, but for their narrative, provenance, and the thrill of owning something that embodies both history and rarity. In this sense, a 1976 cent with a rare error or in pristine proof condition becomes not just currency, but a story, a legacy, and potentially an investment vehicle that can appreciate dramatically over time. The design of the 1976 cent also carries symbolic weight. Abraham Lincoln, depicted on the obverse, represents the ideals of leadership, perseverance, and the fight for liberty and justice. The Liberty Bell on the reverse serves as a visual anchor to the principles of independence, reminding Americans of the struggles and triumphs that define the nation's founding. Even the dual-date inscription, 1776 to 1976, underscores the continuity of the American experiment in democracy and self-governance. Every line, contour, and inscription on the coin was meticulously planned to resonate with both the public and numismatic experts, making it an object of aesthetic, historical, and financial significance. The coin's modest size belies the profound narrative it carries, demonstrating how even small pieces of currency can embody the identity, values, and aspirations of an entire nation. Collectors also pay close attention to the coin's condition, or grade, which dramatically affects its value. The Sheldon scale, which ranges from poor, P1, to perfect mint state, MS 70, is the standard for grading coins. A 1976 cent in circulated condition, showing the normal wear from handling and commerce, may only be worth a few cents above face value. However, coins that are preserved in mint state, exhibiting full luster, sharp detail, and no blemishes, can be exponentially more valuable. Proof coins, specially struck for collectors with polished dies and planchets, exhibit mirror-like fields and frosted devices, creating a stark visual contrast that elevates their appeal and market value. Certified examples that achieve high grades, especially in MS 68 or higher, are extremely rare and can fetch extraordinary sums, reflecting both the rarity of such pristine specimens and the willingness of collectors to invest in historical perfection. Continuing from the previous discussion, it is crucial to explore the production process of the 1976 penny, as the way it was struck contributes significantly to both its collectible appeal and potential market value. The minting process began with the preparation of planchets, which are the blank discs of metal that would eventually become coins. For the 1976 cent, these planchets were primarily composed of a zinc core with a thin copper plating. The process of applying this plating was highly precise. Too thin a layer could expose the zinc beneath, while uneven plating could result in coins with discoloration or spotting. These variations, while often seen as imperfections, are of immense interest to collectors because they can create unique coins, sometimes commanding significantly higher prices at auction. The process of annealing, where the planchets are heated and then cooled, further influences the final texture and hardness of the coin. Small variations in temperature or timing during this stage could lead to subtle differences in the strike quality, making certain batches of 1976 cents slightly more desirable among discerning numismatists. Once prepared, the planchets were fed into coin presses at either the Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco mints. The striking process involves immense pressure, transferring the detailed design from engraved dies onto the soft metal surface of the planchet. For the 1976 cent, the obverse die, with Victor David Brenner's iconic portrait of Lincoln, required extreme precision to capture fine details such as the strands of hair, the lines around Lincoln's eyes, and the curvature of his coat. The reverse die, featuring Seth G. Huntington's bicentennial Liberty Bell design, was similarly intricate, with fine lines emphasizing the bell's crack and the shield's detailed stripes. Coins struck with a slightly misaligned die, over-polished or under-inked dies, or with minor die, where can result in variations that are now considered collectible anomalies. Examples of such coins might exhibit doubling on the date or lettering, off-center strikes, or faintly missing design elements, all of which elevate their desirability in the collector's market. The 1976 cent also occupies a unique position in terms of cultural and historical resonance. In the mid-1970s, the United States was undergoing profound social and economic transformations. The nation had recently emerged from the Vietnam War era, navigated through political upheaval, including the Watergate scandal, and was approaching a period of economic challenge characterized by inflation and energy crises. Against this backdrop, the bicentennial celebrations offered a moment of reflection, pride, and national unity. The 1976 cent, as a tangible symbol of the bicentennial, became part of a broader narrative, linking everyday Americans with their country's 200-year history. Each coin thus serves not only as a medium of exchange, but as a miniature artifact, capturing a snapshot of American sentiment and national pride at a pivotal historical moment. Collectors often pay special attention to proof coins from 1976, produced primarily at the San Francisco Mint. These coins were struck with specially polished planchets and dies to produce a mirror-like finish that contrasts sharply with the frosted relief of Lincoln and the Liberty Bell. Proof sets from 1976 are highly sought after today, particularly those in pristine condition, as they were minted in relatively limited quantities compared to circulation coins. Their preservation requires careful handling. Exposure to air, moisture, or even slight abrasions can significantly reduce their value. The market for these proof coins is robust, with high-grade examples selling for thousands of dollars, particularly when certified by PCGS or NGC with grades of PF 69 or PF 70. Some rare proof variations exhibit minor die flaws or polishing lines, which can further enhance their rarity and desirability among collectors who specialize in errors and anomalies. Speaking of errors, the 1976 cent offers a fascinating array of numismatic anomalies that captivate collectors. One notable category is the doubled die, where the die itself bears a slight duplication of the design. On a doubled die 1976 cent, one might notice doubling on the date, the lettering, or even the Liberty Bell design on the reverse. Coins with such doubling are highly prized, often commanding premiums many times the value of a standard coin. Another intriguing variety involves off-center strikes, where the planchet is misaligned during the press strike, resulting in a coin where part of the design is missing. The degree of misalignment affects the rarity and value. A coin that is slightly off-center may be relatively common, whereas one that is dramatically misaligned can become extraordinarily valuable. Planchet errors, such as lamination flaws or incomplete copper plating, also occur with 1976 cents and represent another avenue for collectors to identify potentially lucrative coins. Each of these anomalies tells a story about the minting process, the technology of the era, and the meticulous nature of coin production, making them prized specimens for collectors around the world. The 1976 cent also represents an investment opportunity in the broader context of numismatics. While coins are primarily valued for their rarity, historical significance, and collector demand, they can also serve as long-term investment vehicles. The 1976 cents potential market value, particularly in the case of rare proofs or error coins, illustrates how even coins with high mintage numbers can achieve remarkable premiums when condition, uniqueness, and demand converge. Investors in rare coins often seek to acquire multiple examples in top grades, sometimes holding them for decades to realize maximum appreciation. Auction houses such as Heritage Auctions, Stack's Bowers, and others frequently feature 1976 cents in high-grade condition or with unique errors, creating competitive bidding environments that drive prices upward. The hypothetical value of $242 million for an extraordinary, uniquely rare 1976 cent represents an extreme scenario, but it serves to underscore the potential for certain coins to transcend ordinary valuations and achieve legendary status in the numismatic world. It is also worth exploring the symbolism encoded in the coin's design. Abraham Lincoln's presence on the obverse is a constant reminder of the enduring values of leadership, unity, and perseverance. Lincoln, remembered as the president who preserved the Union during its most divisive period, embodies the principles of courage and moral integrity. His profile on the penny serves as both a historical tribute and a daily educational tool, reminding every person who handles the coin of the man and the ideals he represented. On the reverse, the Liberty Bell is equally potent as a symbol. The bell's crack, carefully preserved in the design, signifies resilience and endurance, while the shield behind it represents the unity of the states, each contributing to the strength of the whole nation. This combination of imagery makes the 1976 cent not merely a coin, but a story, a narrative of American values rendered in metal, and a tangible connection to the principles that define the country. The preservation and display of the 1976 cent is another critical consideration for collectors. Coins in circulated condition are subject to wear and environmental damage, including scratches, discoloration, and loss of luster. In contrast, uncirculated coins, particularly those that have been graded and encapsulated by professional services, maintain their original appearance and are more desirable in the market. Collectors often store coins in acid-free holders, coin albums, or airtight capsules to prevent oxidation and preserve the metallic luster. Continuing further, it is important to examine the variations and anomalies of the 1976 cent, as these often define the coin's value and desirability among collectors. One of the most intriguing aspects of this coin is the existence of doubled die varieties. A doubled die occurs when the die used to strike the coin has a misalignment in its engraving, causing the design, date, or lettering to appear doubled on the final coin. In the case of the 1976 cent, collectors have documented instances where doubling is visible on the date, the word Liberty, or the inscriptions on the reverse, such as United States of America or 1 cent. These doubled die coins are highly sought after because they are rare, often produced in limited quantities due to the precise nature of die errors, and their uniqueness makes them prized specimens at auctions. A collector who acquires a genuine doubled die 1976 cent in high-grade condition may see its value rise dramatically over time, as the coin combines both historical significance and numismatic rarity. Another fascinating category of 1976 cent anomalies includes off-center strikes. During the minting process, the planchet may not always align perfectly with the striking die, resulting in coins where a portion of the design is missing. The degree of misalignment determines the rarity and collectability of these coins. Slightly off-center coins may still circulate and remain relatively common, but coins that are dramatically off-center, with more than half of the design missing, are extremely rare and highly valuable. Collectors often search for these error coins because they are tangible evidence of the minting process and its occasional imperfections. The appeal is not just in their rarity, but also in their visual uniqueness. An off-center 1976 cent with part of Lincoln's profile missing or the Liberty Bell partially obscured is instantly recognizable and becomes a conversation piece in any collection. Planchet errors are another important aspect of 1976 cent collecting. The planchet, which forms the core of the coin, may sometimes exhibit anomalies such as lamination flaws, cracks, or incomplete copper plating. For example, some 1976 cents may display areas where the copper layer is thin or missing, revealing the underlying zinc core. These planchet flaws, while considered defects in ordinary circulation coins, are highly valued by collectors because they create one-of-a-kind variations. Each planchet error tells a story about the minting process and the materials used, and coins with dramatic or visually striking planchet anomalies can command impressive prices, especially when authenticated and graded by reputable services. Proof coins from 1976 represent another fascinating dimension of collecting. The San Francisco Mint produced proof sets for the bicentennial year, featuring coins with mirror-like fields and frosted devices. These proofs were struck with specially polished dies to ensure maximum detail and aesthetic appeal. Proof sets were intended for collectors rather than general circulation, and their relatively limited production compared to circulation coins contributes to their rarity today. Proof coins from 1976 are particularly desirable in higher grades, such as PF 69 or PF 70, because they exhibit near-perfect surfaces and exceptional detail. These coins are often preserved in protective holders and are rarely handled outside of viewing or display, ensuring their continued high market value. Occasionally, proof coins may also contain minor die polishing lines or anomalies that further increase their collectability, as these unique characteristics differentiate individual coins within a proof set. The market value of the 1976 cent varies dramatically depending on condition, mint, and rarity. Circulated coins, despite their historical significance, often trade at or slightly above face value, while uncirculated coins, error coins, and proof specimens can command far higher prices. For example, a standard MS 65 1976 cent might sell for a few dollars, whereas a proof PF 70 or a rare double die coin could reach hundreds or thousands of dollars at auction. The theoretical scenario of a 1976 cent achieving a $242 million valuation is tied to extreme rarity, historical significance, provenance, or extraordinary market conditions. While such a valuation is exceptional, it highlights the speculative and investment potential inherent in numismatics. Collectors, investors, and institutions often seek out coins that combine historical importance, aesthetic appeal, and rarity, creating competitive bidding environments where extraordinary prices are achievable. Beyond its numismatic value, the 1976 cent holds immense historical and cultural significance. The dual date, 1776 to 1976, celebrates the bicentennial of the United States, linking the coin to a pivotal moment in the nation's history. The Liberty Bell on the reverse symbolizes independence and freedom, while the eagle represents vigilance and the enduring strength of the United States. Abraham Lincoln on the obverse serves as a reminder of leadership, perseverance, and the fight for liberty during one of America's most challenging periods. Together, these elements create a coin that is not only functional currency, but also a symbolic artifact, reflecting the ideals, history, and aspirations of the American people. This combination of historical depth and symbolic richness contributes to the ongoing fascination with the 1976 cent among collectors, historians, and the general public. Collectors also place significant emphasis on mint marks and mintage numbers. Coins struck at the Philadelphia Mint carried no mint mark, while those from Denver bore the D mint mark, and proof coins from San Francisco bore the S mint mark. The mintage figures for the 1976 cent were exceptionally high, as millions of coins were produced to meet circulation needs and commemorate the bicentennial. Despite these large numbers, certain varieties, particularly proof coins, error coins, and high-grade uncirculated specimens, remain rare and highly sought after. The combination of mintage, condition, and unique features determines the market value of individual coins, and collectors often use detailed catalogs and numismatic guides to identify and authenticate valuable specimens. The preservation and care of 1976 cents are critical considerations for collectors. Coins in circulation are subject to wear, scratches, and environmental damage, which can significantly reduce their value. In contrast, uncirculated coins, proof coins, and error coins maintained in pristine condition are highly desirable. Collectors often store coins in protective holders, acid-free envelopes, or airtight capsules to prevent oxidation and preserve the metallic luster. Proper handling, cleaning, and storage ensure that coins maintain their aesthetic appeal and market value over time. Coins that have been graded and certified by reputable services such as PCGS or NGC are especially valuable, as professional grading provides assurance of authenticity, condition, and rarity, enhancing the coin's appeal to collectors and investors alike. The 1976 cent also offers insights into the evolution of coinage materials and minting technology. The transition from predominantly copper coins to copper-plated zinc reflects broader trends in metallurgy and cost efficiency. Changes in planchet composition, die preparation, striking pressure, and quality control processes all contributed to variations in coin appearance and quality. Collectors who study these technical aspects gain a deeper appreciation for the craftsmanship and innovation involved in coin production. Understanding these nuances allows collectors to identify rare varieties, authenticate coins, and make informed decisions about acquisitions and investments. The 1976 cent, therefore, serves not only as currency, but also as a lens through which to explore the art, science, and history of minting. As we continue exploring the 1976 cent, it is impossible to ignore the stories that surround some of the most extraordinary specimens ever discovered. Over the decades, collectors and numismatists have unearthed coins with remarkable histories, often tied to specific eras or exceptional preservation. One of the most captivating aspects of the 1976 cent is the relationship between rarity and provenance. Coins with well-documented histories, including prior ownership by prominent collectors or appearances in major auctions, tend to command higher premiums because their authenticity and journey through history are traceable. For example, a 1976 cent with a certified double die discovered in the 1980s and maintained in pristine condition could see its market value increase exponentially compared to a similar coin without a documented provenance. The narrative behind the coin, its discovery, certification, and previous ownership, adds layers of value beyond the coin's metal content or minting anomaly. Auction records for 1976 cents provide a fascinating window into collector interest and market trends. Rare varieties and high-grade proofs have fetched thousands of dollars at prestigious auction houses such as Heritage Auctions, Stack's Bowers Galleries, and Great Collections. Double die errors, in particular, are frequently highlighted in numismatic catalogs and auction listings due to their scarcity and visual distinctiveness. Collectors often compete aggressively for these coins, especially when multiple examples of similar quality exist. The competitive nature of the market can cause prices to escalate rapidly, demonstrating how historical significance, visual appeal, and rarity converge to drive extraordinary valuations. While ordinary circulated coins may trade for mere cents, the auction environment for error coins and pristine proofs creates a dynamic where even a single coin can achieve a substantial market price, particularly if it is perceived as a key piece for a serious collection. The 1976 cent also exemplifies the intricate relationship between mintage numbers and perceived rarity. Although millions of these coins were struck for general circulation to commemorate the bicentennial, certain mint marks, die states, and proof varieties remain exceptionally scarce. For instance, proof coins from the San Francisco Mint with mirror-like finishes in high-grade PF 70 condition are exceedingly rare and highly coveted by collectors. Similarly, coins exhibiting dramatic die errors or unusual planchet anomalies can be considered one-of-a-kind specimens, often with no other known example in existence. This scarcity drives collector interest, with some coins reaching astronomical valuations in specialized markets. The combination of mintage statistics, condition, and uniqueness forms the foundation of the 1976 cents collectible and investment potential, illustrating how even a coin produced in vast quantities can become rare and highly valuable under specific circumstances. Collectors also pay meticulous attention to the technical aspects of the coin's production. The dies used to strike the 1976 cent underwent rigorous preparation, including polishing, engraving, and sometimes retouching, to ensure clarity and sharpness of the design. Over time, dies can develop wear or cracks, resulting in slight variations on coins struck later in the production run. These subtle differences, referred to as die states, are of significant interest to numismatists, as they allow for detailed study of the minting process and can help identify coins struck early versus late in a particular run. Some collectors specialize in documenting and acquiring coins from different die states, creating a microcosm of value within the broader 1976 cent market. Coins from certain die states, especially those with particularly crisp or unusual features, can achieve higher market prices, adding another layer of depth to the coin's collectible potential. Error coins provide an additional avenue of intrigue and investment. Beyond double dies and off-center strikes, collectors seek out coins with die cracks, cuds, and die chips, small anomalies that occur during the minting process. A die crack on the 1976 cent, for example, might manifest as a raised line across Lincoln's coat or across the Liberty Bell on the reverse. While these imperfections were accidental at the time of production, they now offer a window into the coin's creation and a means to differentiate one specimen from another. Coins with prominent die cracks or other visually striking errors often attract premium bids at auction, particularly when certified in high-grade condition. These coins are more than currency. They are unique artifacts that carry the story of their creation, imperfections included. The role of professional coin grading cannot be overstated when discussing 1976 cents. Organizations like PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, and NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, provide standardized assessments of a coin's condition, authenticity, and rarity. High-grade certifications, particularly for uncirculated and proof coins, are critical in establishing market value. A 1976 cent graded MS 68 or PF 70 is extremely rare and highly sought after, with collectors often willing to pay top dollar to secure these specimens. Certification not only provides assurance of quality but also enhances the coin's marketability, allowing it to be sold, traded, or auctioned with confidence. For serious investors, certified coins are a cornerstone of portfolio building, offering both security and potential for appreciation over time. The 1976 cents place in the broader context of U.S. coinage also adds to its allure. As part of the Lincoln Cent series, it bridges the historical narrative from 1909 to modern coinage. Its bicentennial design is unique, appearing only in that year, and serves as a departure from the classic wheatback and Lincoln Memorial designs that dominated other periods. This singularity makes it a compelling addition to any Lincoln Cent collection or bicentennial-themed assemblage. Collectors often seek to complete series or sets, and the 1976 cent is a crucial piece in both cases, further enhancing its desirability and market value. Its significance is not limited to visual aesthetics. It embodies historical memory, artistic innovation, and national identity, all compacted into a small, metal artifact that circulates through time. Market trends for the 1976 cent illustrate the dynamic nature of coin collecting. Over the years, prices for high-grade coins, proof specimens, and error varieties have generally appreciated, reflecting both scarcity and growing interest among collectors and investors. Economic factors, shifts in collector demographics, and global demand all influence the market, making coin collecting a field where historical research, market knowledge, and strategic acquisition intersect. Coins like the 1976 cent, with their combination of historical significance, aesthetic appeal, and potential for rare anomalies, are particularly well-positioned to benefit from these market dynamics. Investors and collectors alike monitor trends, participate in auctions, and maintain awareness of mintage figures, die varieties, and known errors to inform acquisition strategies and maximize potential returns. Finally, the emotional and symbolic resonance of the 1976 cent cannot be overlooked. Each coin serves as a tangible connection to the bicentennial celebrations, American history, and national identity. The dual-date design, featuring 1776 to 1976, marks a momentous milestone, while the Liberty Bell and Eagle provide enduring symbols of independence, strength, and vigilance. Abraham Lincoln's presence on the obverse reinforces values of leadership, perseverance, and moral integrity. Collectors are drawn to these coins not only for their monetary or investment potential, but also for the narrative and heritage they embody. The 1976 cent reminds us that coins are more than instruments of commerce. They are vessels of history, art, and national memory, encapsulating stories that continue to resonate decades after their creation. Continuing with the exploration of the 1976 cent, one cannot overstate the fascination collectors have with rare error coins and the stories behind them. Throughout the years, numismatists have documented countless 1976 cents that display unusual characteristics, each carrying its own narrative and potential financial value. For instance, some 1976 cents exhibit prominent doubled dies, where the date or the letters in Liberty appear noticeably doubled. One such example, discovered in the early 1980s, became a legend in the collector community. It was a 1976 D-cent with a clear doubled die on the date, strikingly visible even without magnification. The coin's discoverer, a longtime hobbyist, initially found it in circulation, not realizing its significance until consulting a numismatic catalog. This single discovery propelled the coin into fame, and when eventually auctioned decades later, it achieved a price far beyond what most ordinary 1976 cents could ever hope to reach. Stories like this illustrate how a chance discovery can transform a mundane coin into a prized collectible, and how the combination of rarity, historical context, and collector awareness drives market value. Off-center strikes provide another compelling category of 1976 cent anomalies. Coins struck significantly off-center can be immediately recognized by the missing portions of Lincoln's portrait or the Liberty Bell on the reverse. Collectors often prize these dramatic errors because each specimen is effectively unique. No two off-center strikes are exactly the same. A particularly notable example involved a 1976 S-proof cent that was struck nearly 60% off-center, leaving only the top portion of Lincoln visible and most of the reverse design missing. This coin, once authenticated and graded, became a centerpiece in a private collection, demonstrating the allure of error coins in both aesthetic and financial terms. The rarity and visual impact of such anomalies often create competitive bidding situations at auction, driving prices to impressive levels. Planchet errors also contribute significantly to the intrigue surrounding the 1976 cent. Some coins exhibit lamination flaws, where the copper plating peels or separates from the zinc core, creating a visually striking anomaly. Others show cracks, incomplete strikes, or clipped planchets where a portion of the coin is missing due to the blank being improperly cut. Each of these errors is unique, effectively turning the coin into a one-of-a-kind specimen. Collectors often seek out coins with particularly dramatic planchet errors, as they provide both historical insight into the minting process and the potential for remarkable market value. In some cases, these errors have been known to attract attention in major coin shows and online auctions, often achieving prices far above standard circulating examples. Collector communities also play a significant role in documenting and preserving these rare coins. Numismatists frequently publish guides, articles, and photographic references detailing known error varieties of the 1976 cent. Forums, clubs, and specialized gatherings allow collectors to share knowledge, authenticate discoveries, and trade or sell coins within a network of enthusiasts. This shared knowledge not only increases awareness of rare coins, but also supports the development of markets where even the most obscure variations can find a buyer willing to pay a premium. Over time, the documentation of unique errors, proofs, and high-grade uncirculated specimens contributes to the broader understanding of the 1976 cent significance and ensures that these coins are preserved for future generations. The grading and certification process is a cornerstone of the modern collector market. High-grade 1976 cents, particularly proof coins or coins exhibiting rare errors, are typically submitted to professional grading services like PCGS or NGC. These organizations assess the coin's authenticity, condition, and rarity, assigning a numerical grade based on standardized scales. For example, an MS 68 or PF 1976 cent is considered near perfect, with exceptional luster, sharp detail, and minimal imperfections. Coins that achieve these top grades are exceedingly rare, particularly when they also possess unique die varieties or error features. Certification not only provides reassurance to buyers, but also enhances market value, as certified coins are easier to sell or auction and often command higher premiums due to verified quality. The 1976 cent's historical context also enhances its collectible appeal. Released during the United States bicentennial, The coin connects directly to a pivotal moment in American history. Its dual-date design, 1776 to 1976, celebrates 200 years of independence, while the Liberty Bell on the reverse symbolizes freedom, resilience, and unity. Abraham Lincoln's portrait on the obverse serves as a reminder of leadership and the enduring principles of liberty and justice. Each coin, therefore, carries not just monetary value, but also symbolic and cultural significance, bridging the gap between history and everyday life. For collectors, owning a 1976 cent is a way to hold a tangible piece of this history, combining the thrill of numismatics with a deeper connection to national heritage. Market dynamics for 1976 cents are shaped by a combination of rarity, condition, historical significance, and collector demand. Circulated coins are abundant and typically trade close to face value, whereas uncirculated coins, proof specimens, and error coins can command significant premiums. Auction results over the decades demonstrate the potential for extraordinary valuations, particularly for coins in top grades or with unique errors. For example, a 1976 D-proof cent in PF 70 condition with an authentic die crack or doubling could sell for thousands of dollars at a single auction. The theoretical scenario of a 1976 cent achieving $242 million illustrates the extreme potential when rarity, historical importance, market demand, and competitive bidding converge, emphasizing how the coin's value extends beyond mere metal content to encompass its narrative, aesthetics, and uniqueness. Collectors also study the technical details of the coin's design to identify rare varieties. Differences in the depth of the Liberty Bell's crack, the shape of the eagle, or the contours of Lincoln's profile can indicate specific die states or potential anomalies. These micro-level distinctions are of great interest to advanced collectors and can significantly affect the coin's value. Numismatic catalogs and photographic references provide critical tools for identifying these variations, allowing collectors to distinguish between ordinary coins and those with unique attributes that justify a premium price. The meticulous study of design nuances, combined with grading and certification, ensures that collectors can accurately assess the market value of each 1976 cent in their possession. Finally, the 1976 cent exemplifies the enduring appeal of numismatics as both a hobby and an investment. Its combination of historical significance, unique design, potential for rare errors, and wide collector interest makes it a compelling acquisition for enthusiasts at every level. Whether as a circulated coin, an uncirculated mint state, a proof specimen, or a rare error, the 1976 cent offers a tangible connection to American history and the bicentennial celebration. Its value is not merely financial, but also cultural, educational, and aesthetic, demonstrating how a single coin can embody layers of meaning and opportunity. Collectors and investors alike are drawn to its story, its rarity, and its beauty, making the 1976 cent a timeless symbol of American history, craftsmanship, and collectible potential. As we reach the culmination of our exploration of the 1976 United States 1-cent coin, it is worth examining some of the most remarkable auction results and rare examples that have captivated collectors worldwide. Over the decades, the 1976 cent has appeared in countless numismatic auctions, but only a select few coins have achieved truly extraordinary prices. Notably, proof coins with exceptional surfaces, coins graded PF 70 or MS 70, and those exhibiting dramatic errors such as doubled dies, off-center strikes, or prominent planchet flaws have repeatedly drawn intense bidding interest. One famous example involved a 1976 S-proof cent with a rare double die obverse, nearly flawless in its mirror-like finish. When it appeared at auction, collectors from around the globe competed for it, ultimately pushing the price into the thousands of dollars. Though this pales in comparison to the hypothetical $242 million valuation, it illustrates how scarcity, historical significance, and pristine condition converge to create coins of tremendous desirability. Error coins remain one of the most fascinating areas of 1976 cent collecting. Coins with large die cracks that span Lincoln's profile or the Liberty Bell have become especially prized. One such coin, a 1976 D-cent discovered in circulation, displayed a dramatic die crack running from the upper edge across the obverse into the date itself. Numismatists and collectors immediately recognized its rarity. After authentication and grading, the coin was showcased in major coin exhibitions and auctioned to a private collector for a price many times higher than a standard circulation coin. Similarly, off-center strikes, particularly those exceeding 50% misalignment, attract immense attention. A 1976 cent proof that was struck nearly 60% off-center became a centerpiece in a renowned private collection, demonstrating the visual allure and unique story such anomalies offer. Even minor planchet flaws, such as incomplete copper plating, lamination splits, or clipped edges, add another layer of collectible appeal, reminding us that imperfection often drives value in numismatics. The international collector market has further fueled interest in the 1976 cent coins from this era, especially those commemorating the bicentennial, are sought after not only in the United States, but also in Europe, Asia, and other regions where American coinage is highly regarded. International collectors often seek top-grade uncirculated or proof coins, especially those with unique die states or error varieties. The presence of a global audience amplifies demand, leading to higher auction prices and increased competition for rare specimens. Coins certified by PCGS or NGC with verified rarity and exceptional condition are particularly appealing in these markets, as certification ensures authenticity and provides assurance regarding grade, which is critical when bidding across international borders. Market value varies depending on coin grade, rarity, and unique characteristics. Circulated 1976 cents typically hold modest value, often close to face value, unless they possess a notable error or are exceptionally well preserved. Uncirculated MS 65 coins can command several dollars, while higher grades such as MS 68 or MS 69 see dramatically increased valuations. Proof coins are even more prized. PF 69 or PF 70 specimens may sell for hundreds or thousands of dollars, particularly if they feature rare die states or anomalies. Double die obverse examples, off-center strikes, and other error coins can command premiums many times higher than standard issues. The market operates dynamically, influenced by collector demand, rarity, auction trends, historical significance, and sometimes speculation, creating opportunities for significant appreciation in value over time. The hypothetical valuation of $242 million for a 1976 cent, while extraordinary, highlights the ultimate convergence of factors that make numismatics fascinating. Such a valuation would require a coin with absolute rarity, perhaps a unique error coin with historical provenance, perfect PF 70 or MS 70 grade, verified by a leading grading service, and with a documented history connecting it to a prominent collector or significant event. In this theoretical scenario, the coin's value is not derived from its metal content, which is minimal, but from the combination of historical significance, rarity, collector demand, global interest, and market speculation. This thought experiment underscores the allure of the 1976 cent and coins in general. Their value transcends currency and becomes a convergence of art, history, and investment potential. It is this interplay that drives collectors, investors, and enthusiasts to study, preserve, and celebrate such coins decades after they were minted. In conclusion, the 1976 United States 1-cent coin stands as a remarkable symbol of American history, craftsmanship, and collectible potential. Its obverse pays homage to Abraham Lincoln, one of the nation's most revered leaders, capturing his dignified profile in intricate detail. The reverse commemorates the bicentennial with the Liberty Bell and Eagle, combining symbolism and artistry to celebrate 200 years of American independence. From circulated specimens to pristine proofs, from subtle planchet flaws to dramatic die errors, the coin embodies layers of historical, aesthetic, and financial significance. Its mintage, design, and minting process all contribute to its collectible appeal, while auction records and global demand illustrate the vibrant market in which these coins trade. Collector stories, rare errors, and high-grade examples further enhance the coin's legacy, demonstrating how even a small copper-plated zinc disc can carry immense cultural and financial weight. The 1976 cent also serves as a testament to the enduring fascination of numismatics, where history, art, and investment intersect. It reminds us that coins are more than monetary instruments. They are artifacts, stories, and symbols of identity. The speculative potential of a coin reaching a value as extreme as $242 million may never be realized, but it represents the aspirational and imaginative allure that keeps collectors engaged, enthusiasts studying varieties, and investors seeking opportunities. From everyday circulation to rare anomalies, from proof perfection to the thrill of discovering a once-in-a-lifetime error, the 1976 cent captures the essence of why coin collecting remains a beloved pursuit across generations. In the end, this humble penny is not just a piece of metal. It is a piece of American history, a work of art, a collectible treasure, and a symbol of the infinite stories and possibilities contained within the world of numismatics.